I graduated high school 10 years ago, 2016. And it's crazy to think that 10 years has already passed by. So, for all of you guys that are just graduating high school, just know that the next 10 years, your life is going to change. 10 years ago, when I graduated high school, I never thought that my life would be this way 10 years later. But now here I am, working at 9 to 5, married, having my first son already turned 7 months. It's crazy how much can change. And in this video, I just want to walk down memory lane. And if you feel like you need some company, well, just sit down, play this in the background, and just listen to me yap for the next 10 to 12 minutes. So when I graduated high school, I was 18 years old. I had everything set. I had the college that I was going to. I had the next couple of months during summer vacation to really think about what I'm gonna do with my life. And after 4 hard years of high school, I was finally done. Now it was time for the real world, as they would say. I remember all the teachers saying, oh, well, after high school, that's when the real world starts. That's when real life actually starts. And you need to be ready and you need to be prepared. And then came the first year of college. Oh boy, where do I even start? So I went to UCLA. Can I even say I went to UCLA? Because, oh my gosh, I dropped out the second trimester. Oh my goodness. I was so happy to be going to UCLA because, first of all, my sister went there and she graduated, and now it was my turn. But as I was waking up at 6 a.m. to get to my first class at 8 a.m., yes, the traffic was really heavy. It was a 2-hour drive all the way to West Hollywood, where UCLA is. As I kept going to these classes, I slowly started to feel that I did not want to be there. I told myself, what am I doing here? I don't want to be here. I dread it. I really hated going to those lectures, to those study halls. I hated going to those group activities where we had to pair up with other people and work on the assignments. I did not want to be there, but I did it for the first 3 months because I guess for University of California, they go by trimesters. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I went for the first 3 months. And do you guys think I aced my classes? No, I did not. I pretty much failed because I was not putting in any work, any effort at all. I was pretty much just going, sitting down, and then coming back home. And then I would come back home and I would not even do any assignments. It was crazy because I don't even remember coming home and checking my emails and checking my books or doing nothing. So overall, I was pretty much just driving over there, wasting gas, wasting my time, and then coming back home and playing video games or going out with my friends. That was pretty much all I was doing. And when the second trimester came and I had my next 3 classes, I was completely done. I remember there was this one time I was at a lecture hall and I was just looking at a video. I was browsing on YouTube with my earphones on, sitting in the back row of the class. And I remember, oh my gosh, I remember this memory so vividly. I think the person that I was watching on YouTube started to scream that the noise from my Bluetooth headphones was actually audible to the person next to me. And the person next to me just looked at me like, bro, are you seriously over here just wasting your time? At that moment, I kind of realized, what am I doing here? Am I just going to sit here wasting my time, or am I actually going to do something about it? And I was scared to talk to my family because my mom and my sister, they were all about the traditional path of going to college, getting a career, working for 40 years and then retiring. So I was scared to tell them, but I knew that I had to do it because I just hated every single moment, every single second that I was there at the university. So one day I just came home and I was like, you know what, mom, sister, I don't want to go back to school. I want to take a break. I'm failing my classes. And when I told them, they were devastated. They were really devastated. They told me, no, there's no other way. Like, you need to go to college. But in me, I really felt this want, this need, or this feeling that I do not want to go back there. Sending me there is like torture. And it took a while for them to come to the realization that I really did not want to go there. And my dad was really understanding. He was pretty much like, okay, if you don't want to go, it's fine. Take a break. You know, if you don't feel like you need to go to school or college, don't do that. Go and look for something else that could be your career or that could gain you money. And kid you not, guys, as soon as I stopped going to college, I just felt like this pressure was alleviated from my chest. I felt like I was free. I felt like I had no more worries, and it felt good. If I'm being honest, it felt really good. Now, I took some time off because I was like, you know what? A lot of people take gap years. A lot of people will take 1 or 2 years of break from school, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this time to focus on myself. And in that time, I was really losing weight. I was getting into this new lifestyle of being fit and healthy. I started going to the gym. I started losing weight, and I really started to change the way I live my life. And I had my fun. Obviously I had my fun. I was going out with my friends. We were going out to Denny's at 1 o'clock in the morning. We were going out to see movies. We were going to miniature golf. Life was good. Well, yeah, I was young. I was 17, 18, 19. I was young. And then it slowly started to hit. I was like, dang, okay, I had my fun. Now I need a job. I don't just want to be here rotting, or I don't want to be here just in my bed or in my couch watching YouTube, going out with my friends every single time. I need a job. And I remember I was applying to different jobs, but no one really got me. And then lo and behold, there was a coffee shop near my house. And this coffee shop, I know a lot of you LA locals know this shop. It's called Tierra Mia Coffee. And I remember I applied, and then one Saturday I was at my church. We were having like this event, and I just get a phone call, and it was the manager at that time at Tierra Mia that called me, and she was like, hey, like, we saw your application. Can you come in for an interview? And at that moment, I was just so excited. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could do an interview. And for this interview, I kid you not, I went all dressed up. I know that culture is probably dead. A lot of people don't even dress up for an interview. But I remember I wore my button up, my slacks, my dress shoes. I even took a really nice watch that I had at the time. And everyone there was so amazed. They were like, oh, like, hey, like, you look nice. And yeah, my interview went well. I ended up getting the job. And that is how I got my first job at Tierra Mia. And in this job, I learned a lot of skills that I still use to this day. Like back then, before the job, I wasn't really a social person. I was pretty much timid. I had stage fright every time I had to present. I didn't really know how to talk to people. But working at a coffee shop, you were forced to talk to your coworkers. You were forced to talk to customers. And that is where I really developed my social skills, my communication skills. And I also learned how to adapt to different situations. I learned how to multitask. I learned how to work under pressure. And I was there for a cool 2 years. I made a lot of good friends, even though right now I don't talk to them, but I have a lot of them on social media. And that is when I finally started earning my own cash. I started saving up. I started buying the things that I want because, you know, I was getting a paycheck. And by the time I was done at that company, I was 21, 22. And ever since then, ever since I quit that job, it's been an adventure. It's been a journey to find out what was the next big thing. And I was going job after job, trying to figure out where am I going to stay? What am I going to do? Until one day I said enough is enough. And I told myself, I want to be my own boss. I want to be a YouTuber, because they get the privilege of waking up every single day and doing the things that they love to do and getting paid for it. And I'm not just talking about $200, $300. No, they're getting brand deals of over $50,000. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. That is what I want to do. And one of the mistakes that I did was that I quit my job. And then I told myself, okay, I'm going to just focus on YouTube 100% of my time. I thought it was going to be easy. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, but no, it wasn't, because my videos weren't getting views. And now I was stuck without a job. And I did that for a while until finally I said again, enough is enough. And I went and I applied to the company that I'm working at now. And I've been doing YouTube and working at the same time ever since then. And now I'm going on my 5th year on this company. I've learned a lot of things. I've experimented with a lot of things. I've met a lot of new people. I've lost a couple friends. My life has changed dramatically. From getting married to having my first son, from growing as a person, a lot has changed from the last 10 years. And I hope you guys are seeing how much you can change over the next 10 years. Because just how I graduated high school 10 years ago, and now 10 years later, this is a position that I'm in. Hopefully it gives you an insight of how much your life can change. And now I'm doing YouTube. And honestly, sometimes I am scared. I'm scared that if I made the right decision of dropping out of college, I'm scared that what if this YouTube thing doesn't work out? This is my plan A and I don't have a plan B. My plan B, I guess, is just to continue working at a job or going into a trade that will ultimately pay me $30 an hour. But I want this YouTube thing to work out. And it's scary because no one knows if it's going to work out. All I know is that I'm a trust in God, put everything in the palm of his hands, let him direct my paths. And if you enjoyed this video, then YouTube is going to recommend another video that I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy as well. And I'll see you guys there, and God bless.